Mr. Randall! Mr. Randall! Mr. Randall! Mr. Randall!
Mr. Tully.
You're not Mr. Randall. Did he send you? I don't understand. Why here? He said it was urgent.
That's right, Tully. Mr. Randall sent me.
You can sign that, Jeff, then I can put it in the post straight away.
Oh, fine. Thank you, Jimmy.
Morning, Jeff. How are we doing? We busy? Come on, Jeff, what are we working on? Hey? All right, then. Be like that. Ignore me. I don't care. Two can play that game, you know.
Oh, Jeff, don't forget your appointment with the Towler Corporation. They're meeting at 10:30.
No, I won't. Thank you, Jim.
Jeff, are you feeling ill? Look, if I've done something wrong, tell me. Don't just cut me dead. Well, you know what I mean. Jeff.
I shall be back before lunch.
Right.
Jeannie? What's the matter with him? I felt very happy when I got up this morning and all. Okay, Jeff, come on. What's it all about? Come on, we're alone. Cut it out.
What's the matter? Come on, come on.
Jeff? You can't see me, can you? Jeff, what's the matter? Have you had a bang on the head? Hey? I think you need a doctor.
Good morning. I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
I'm afraid you've had some rather serious news, Mr. Randall. I believe you know Inspector Large.
Randall. What, have you solved the case?
You know this man?
Yes, I've met him. He's one of your directors, isn't he, Mr. Tully?
One of our financial advisors.
I understand you had an appointment to see him last night.
Well, you understand wrongly, Inspector. I spent last night with some friends in a club till the early hours. Well, let me into the secret.
Tully's dead. Shot last night sometime between 10 o'clock and midnight.
wasn't I told? You hired me to find out who was leaking information. If one of the suspects is killed, I want to know.
I've only just been told myself. The inspector here...
You're not paid to investigate murder, Randall. I am. And the first piece of evidence I turned up was that Tully had an appointment to see you.
Impossible.
His wife heard him speaking to you on the phone, and he went out.
Not to meet me. I didn't speak to him on the phone either. What possible reason could I have to kill Tully?
Shall we move on, gentlemen? This is Mr. Holly, our personnel director. He's also here to assist in any capacity. I believe you've already met Mr. Laker, our general manager.
As you know, I didn't agree with Randall's appointment in the first place. But in view of Tully's death, I'll see that all departments cooperate.
Yes, and the same goes for me, too.
Thanks.
Now, as I understand it, this investigation is into the possibility of certain information being used on the stock market.
Precisely. Unless we discover the culprit, the corporation could be involved in a most unsavory inquiry.
The stock market have already started asking questions. If we were to be accused of price rigging...
I see. And how far have you got, Randall?
I've only just started as well.
He's faced with a considerable problem, Inspector. All we know is that someone's been buying huge blocks of shares in companies we're about to invest in. Quite unethical.
That's hardly a motive for murder.
Money is always a motive.
Inspector, last month the corporation invested 24 million just in ordinary shares.
An efficient operator could make that into 100,000 in just 1 month.
Very well. So we'll assume that Tully knew who this man was. Why didn't he contact you?
Because someone put a bullet into him first.
Now, it's a perfectly simple operation, Mr. Tilvers. You just lie back and relax. That's right. And now you keep on watching the center of this disc. Now, after a few moments, you'll begin to feel drowsy, but just let yourself go.
I've not had much to do with hypnotism, Sir Oliver.
Oh, hardly that, old chap. It just helps you into a light form of hypnosis. Makes it easier for us to weed out those problems of yours. Now, just relax and keep watching the disc. That's right.
How much he charges for all this rubbish?
15 guineas.
What did you say?
15 guineas.
You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Will you do something for me? Listen. You won't forget, will you? Thanks a lot. How do I wake you up?
Count to 3.
One,
Now, Mr. Tilvers,
2,
listen carefully to what I say.
3.
Oh, splendid, Sir Oliver. I feel quite splendid.
Oh, my dear fellow.
I'm already looking forward to our next session. Oh, and I nearly forgot the real reason for my visit. I'd like you to see a friend of mine. He's suffering from some form of breakdown. Poor chap. I'm sure you're doing the world of good. His name's Randall. Geoffrey Randall. I'll give you his address.
Any calls?
Yes, two. Both from the Tower Corporation.
I dealt with them.
Oh, and a Sir Oliver Norrington phoned.
Norrington. I can't place him.
You will, Jeff. You will.
He was a bit mysterious about it, though. Wouldn't leave any messages or anything.
Probably a client. Jean, why don't you take lunch now? It's nearly 1.
Oh, all right then. Fine.
Don't you worry, Jeff. We'll soon have you back to normal. Poor old Jeff. I wonder what brought it on. I think you're working too hard, Jeff. Do you know that? You've got to slow down.
Hello, Tyler Corporation?
Yes?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Holly, please.
Hold on, please.
Thank you.
Who is that?
Jeff Randall. Look, I couldn't speak to you in the meeting this morning, especially with the inspector there. But I think I know the man responsible.
You do, Randall? Well, who is it?
No, I can't talk now. But you're the only person I can trust, so the sooner we get together, the better.
Well, I could come over to your office.
No. I'll meet you at the Victoria and Albert Museum.
Well, if you think that's best.
Military uniforms in 30 minutes.
Right, I'll see you there then.
What's all that about, Jeff? The sooner you get your hearing back, the better I'll like it.
Come in.
And about time, too. Where have you been?
Mr. Randall?
Yes?
How are you? My name is Norrington. I came as soon as I could.
Norrington. Sir Oliver.
Precisely. Now, I'm afraid I haven't too much time for our first session. So perhaps if you could give me the basic symptom of your problem.
My problem?
Yes, well, we all have them, old chap. I find that if you confide in someone, bring it out into the open, then, you know, the battle is half won. Now, let's have your most irritating symptom.
He can't see me anymore.
At the moment, it's confusion.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with confusion. We are all victims of the pressures of modern-day living.
No. I'm confused about you. What exactly are you doing here?
I am a psychiatrist.
A psychiatrist?
I was told you needed help. Mr. Tiller's?
I never heard of him. Whoever he is, I suggest he needs help himself.
Possibly. Possibly. Well, I'm sorry I bothered you, Mr. Randall.
Well, you messed that up. All you had to do was let him hypnotize you, and we're back in business again.
Help.
Help? Of course you need help, Jeff. Of course you do. You just don't know it yet, that's all.
Mr. Holly. Yes. How did you know? Did Randall send you?
In a manner of speaking.
Jeff?
You know, I still haven't got last month's figures yet.
Fine, as soon as you can, eh?
Maybe you're working too hard, Jeff. Too much pressure, not enough sleep.
Oh, hello, Inspector.
What can I do for you this afternoon?
Just a few more questions, Randall.
I told you, I never phoned Tully.
Not Tully. The personnel manager. Holly.
Holly? What about him?
He's dead. Shot about an hour ago, but you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Now, just a minute, Inspector. The last time I saw Holly was with you in Heppel's office this morning.
And the last time you spoke to him by phone?
I've never phoned Holly today or any other day.
What? Now, wait a minute, Jeff. You spoke to him at lunchtime.
His office said that he had a call from you and went out straight away.
Not from me. Look, Inspector, if you're trying to pin something on me, I think you ought to know I've not left this office all afternoon.
I knew it, Jeff. A nervous breakdown. First me and then Holly. You'll be forgetting Eugenie is next.
Ask Jean.
Well?
Oh, it's ridiculous, Inspector. He hasn't moved from this office all day, and neither have I.
Now, wait a minute, Jeannie. You went out at lunchtime, remember?
All right, Randall. We'll say someone is very good at imitating your voice.
Let's.
And while you're at it, find out who's killing my clients. Good afternoon, Inspector.
Jeff, who could be doing it and why?
That's Large's problem, not ours.
But they're your clients.
Our job is to find out who's leaking share information. It's got nothing to do with a private vendetta in the executive suite.
Jeff, you are very ill.
It's not like you, Jeff.
Yeah, I suppose not. It's getting me down a bit.
You've been working far too hard lately.
Exactly. I keep telling him that.
It's nice of you to notice, Jeannie.
Well, of course I do. I'm not just a secretary.
No, that's very true. You're far more than that.
Right! Put him up!
Oh, come on, you're not that shy.
What's the matter with you, Jeff?
You don't sit over there on the other side of the room without thinking the same things that I do.
Could you?
All right, Jeff. You've asked for this.
Now, it's just the same as our normal little exercise, Mrs. Trotter. Just lie back and relax. Just keep looking at a spiral. Let your mind go blank.
Oh, yes, Sir Oliver. These sessions are so relaxing.
That's right. Just let yourself float away.
Listen to my voice. Listen closely, Mrs. Trotter. Can you hear me? Concentrate. The deeper you go to sleep, the louder you will hear me. Sleep. Go to sleep. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
What do you hear, Mrs. Trotter?
Shh, be quiet.
Shh, be quiet.
Now listen. I want you to go and see a Mr. Geoffrey Randall and tell him you've come from Marty.
Marty.
Marty?
Will you shut up?
Will you shut up?
Now listen. Have you got all that?
Yes?
Now, you're falling into a deep, deep sleep.
Rubbish. Wake up, Mrs. Trotter.
Oh, come, Mrs. Trotter. Oh, we're not trying, are we?
I'm sorry, Sir Oliver. I have to leave now.
Leave? But we haven't even started.
Some other time, Sir Oliver. I have an urgent appointment.
My dear lady, you always keep your evening completely free.
Not this time, Sir Oliver. I have an urgent appointment with Mr. Randall. Good evening.
Randall. Randall? How does she know Randall?
You'd never believe me.
Randall.
Relax.
Next time, cough, or you might get indigestion.
I'll have the whiskey instead.
I gather everything went all right with Holly.
Too easy. How about the inspector?
He's putting the pressure on, but he's no problem.
The sooner we get it over with, the better.
We could take Heppel tonight.
At his apartment.
Why not? Make it look more like an inside job.
I'm going to have trouble getting in there. The only way is a private elevator, and he controls that.
You might. I won't. Especially if he thinks I'm onto the man who killed Holly.
Right.
I'd use the same gun just to keep Large off balance. In there.
Mr. Randall?
Yes?
Oh, splendid.
What can I do for you, Mrs.
Trotter.
Trotter. Emily Trotter. It's more of what I can do for you, Mr. Randall.
I'm afraid I'm rather busy right now.
Well, I have a very important message for you from your partner.
My partner?
Marty, Hopkins.
Hopkirk.
He says to tell you the message is that you're not well, and the sooner you start seeing things again, the better.
Mrs. Trotter, Marty Hopkirk has been dead for some time now.
Oh, that's quite impossible. He said he was only talking to you last week, and if
Mrs. Trotter, I went to the funeral. Now, why don't you just trot back to your psychiatrist?
Oh, how on earth did you know?
Just a shrewd guess. Do you mind?
Tell him about the treatment.
But, Mr. Randall, you don't understand.
I understand only too well.
It's you that must see the psychiatrist.
Mrs. Trotter, will you do me a favor? You're not allowed out on the streets. You're not safe. Will you just get out of here?
Well, really?
Why didn't you listen to her? Honestly, Jeff. The more I see of you, the more worried I get. You're on the verge of a complete breakdown. Somebody's gonna... Who's that?
What was all that about?
I don't know. Anyway, she's gone.
I'll phone you tomorrow.
Leave it to me.
Jeff, what's the gun for? And where did you get it? Jeff, you've got to listen to me. Jeff! Look! It's me, Marty, Jeff, will you look? What's got into you? Now, who moved the glass? Jeff!
Yes, who is it?
It's Randall, Mr. Heppel. I know who killed Holly.
What? Why, that's marvelous. Come right up, Randall.
Jeff, it's not your fault. Something snapped. Listen, Jeff, you can't do this. Can't you remember anything? Mr. Heppel. Mr. Heppel, look! Come away from that door!
Mr. Heppel?
Oh, Randall. Now then, what's all this?
Don't do it, Jeff. Don't. We'll both get life. Oh. Murder. Cold-blooded murder. Great. Great. How you can just sit there reading beats me. You killed him. You... Jeff, why did you do it? You can't just turn into a psychopath overnight. Why? And what about Jeannie? What about Jean? Think of the mess you're leaving her in. Jeff, what's got into you? What are you doing? I don't believe it. That explains everything. How stupid can you get? All right. All right, come on. Where's Jeff? Hey, what have you done with him? And what are you up to? Come on, tell me. Well, don't just lie there reading. Come on, what have you done with him?
Good morning, Mr. Randall.
Oh, let's forget about yesterday, Jean. I had a lot on my mind.
Far too much.
Jeannie, use your head. This isn't Jeff. He wouldn't behave like that. Would he? Hey, two-faced?
Oh, good morning, Inspector. Do come in.
Thank you.
What can I do for Scotland Yard this morning?
You think of something? What are your plans for today?
I'm going to the Towler Corporation later on. Why?
We're interested in everything you do, Randall. Take last night, for example.
Had a few drinks, went home, read a book, fell asleep over it.
Fancy. How about this one? Had a few drinks, called on Heppel, killed him, went home, read a book.
Killed Heppel? I'm supposed to see him in a few hours.
The inquest's at 2.
I'm getting sick and tired of this, Large.
Inspector Large, I don't care how sick and tired you get, Randall, so long as you can walk when I come to pick you up.
Why me? What about the man who's making thousands out of Towler's investments?
All you've got to do is find him, Randall, then perhaps I'll listen.
How can I? When every lead I get is shot under your very nose.
So, you had a lead to Heppel.
I didn't say that. He was the man who employed me on this case. Hardly a motive for killing him, is it?
Both murdered men had appointments with you, Randall, and Heppel must have known that man who went up in the elevator.
You know, Inspector, with evidence like that, you should be back on the beat in no time at all.
Don't worry, Randall. I'll do better than that. As a personal favor to me.
Well, why did you tell the inspector that Mr. Heppel gave you the case?
Yes. What are you up to?
Why, what should I have told him?
The truth. Mr. Laker, the general manager, gave you the case. You were at his house on Saturday.
That's right, Jeannie. I spent Saturday with Laker. But Mr. Heppel was also there. The managing director made the decision.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right, Jeannie. I suppose you have good reason for making me look a liar.
Jeff, that's not fair.
I'll see you later.
Come on, Jeannie, think. He slipped up. Come on, Jeannie. Check up on what he said. Come on, phone Laker's house. Jeannie, think. Come on, Jeannie, come on, the telephone. Phone Laker. Well done, Jeannie, well done.
Hello? Mrs. Hopkirk here. I wonder if Jackie could take me for a shampoo and set tomorrow, please.
Shampoo and set. Great, great.
Yes, I'll hold.
What's the matter with your hair? It looks all right to me.
Just relax. Nothing on your mind.
You're taking longer and longer. Do you know that? Can you hear me?
Yes.
What's your name?
Sir Timothy Grange.
Listen, Sir Timothy. Listen very carefully. I want you to do something for me. It's very, very important. She must make this call.
Now, just relax. Nothing on your mind.
I haven't finished. I haven't finished. Make sure she thinks you're a friend. And she must phone Laker.
Now, Sir Timothy, let's take a journey back to those early days at school.
Wake up.
We're taking a French lesson.
No time. Important phone call to make. Do you mind if I,
If it's not too private, will you tell me who it is you're telephoning?
No chap in a spot of bother. A fellow named Randall.
Randall. Randall!
Randall!
Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Hopkirk. Sir Timothy Grange? No, I don't believe he has mentioned your name. Phone Mr. Laker's house? Well, yes, I will straight away if it's important. Thank you, Sir Timothy.
Come on, Jeannie. Do as you're told. Phone Laker. Oh, it's not in there. It's on the blotter. The number's on the blotter.
Could I speak to Mr. James Laker, please?
Mr. Laker isn't here at the moment.
I'm Mr. Randall's secretary. I really wanted to know if he'd spent the weekend or just the Saturday there.
Mr. Randall spent the weekend here.
He was in conference with Mr. Laker for most of the time, I believe.
Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, was Mr. Heppel with them?
No, Mr. Heppel wasn't here. Mr. Randall doesn't appear to have given you much information on the matter at all.
Well, he's been terribly busy, and I can't reach him for the rest of the day.
The address, Jeannie. Get the address.
Oh, by the way, could I have Mr. Laker's address, please?
The Manor House, Milton Vale.
Yep. Thank you.
Not at all. Thank you. Well done, Jeannie. You're working well.
Jeff, are you there? Jeff, can you hear me?
Marty, in the cellar.
Where?
The cellar!
Well, that's a relief.
I expected you 2 days ago.
Well, that's nice. If it hadn't been for a brilliant piece of deduction on my part, it might have been 2 years.
What was brilliant about it? Jeannie knew where I was going on Saturday. Laker will never get away with this stupid trick.
Then you don't know.
No? No what?
You were back in the office on Monday morning.
Don't be ridiculous, Marty.
And that's not all. Since then, you have murdered 3 of the Towler directors, including Heppel.
A double?
A perfect double.
So that's his game. Laker takes over and I...
Killed in self-defense, I'd say. And keeps everyone quiet.
Especially me. So what have you been up to all this time? Okay, so he's a good double. But I thought you were supposed to be psychic.
He happens to be very good. He's bad-tempered, just like you. Not very bright, just like you. And makes the usual number of mistakes.
Just like me. Thanks very much.
All right. I suppose I better get you out of here.
Yeah. This door's solid. We're going to need outside help.
Hang on. It's not very well lit out there, Jeff. And the door at the top of the stairs is not as solid as this one.
It's this one I've got to get through.
I know that, but it won't make him think that you've got out. Come on, come on.
Randall. Randall. Randall.
It's working, Jeff. Hang on, Jeff. I think he's tumbled it. He's coming back. When I give the word, Jeff. Ready? Now! Come on, Jeff, come on. He's smaller than you. Watch him. Come on, hit him. Hit him. Well done. Watch him, Jeff. He's clever. Oh, no, he telegraphed that. Hit him. Great, Jeff, you've got him. Come on, get the gun, get the gun. Well done. Put him down. You've ruined the table, Jeff. Well done, Sir Lancelot. You've used one of those before, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I went to night school.
Murderer!
Jeannie!
Oh, Jeff, I'm sorry. I had to. Why did you do it? Why?
Now, isn't that a touching scene? Will the real Geoffrey Randall stand up, please?
It appears you have stumbled upon our little deception, Mrs. Hopkirk. Which is a pity. A great pity.
Jeff! Jeff, can you hear me? Jeff, you okay?
I think it's still happening.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Are you all right? You seem to be talking to someone.
Was I? Probably the fellow who's hitting me over the head with a shovel. What did he use?
It was me, Jeff. I used a mace. Well, I figured it all out. You see, I really and truly thought you had murdered those people. And when I saw you standing over that man,
A mace? You might have killed me.
Laker's about to correct that little mistake, Jeff.
Laker?
Laker, yes, Laker's here with a man posing as you. I'm afraid I've just gone and made it all worse.
I don't suppose you told anyone you were coming here. And you didn't leave a note. Well, let's hope my guardian angel's hanging around and comes up with something miraculous for a change.
Miraculous? I'm doing my best, Jeff.
Mr. Randall, nice to see you with us again.
If only briefly.
Now, Jeff, look at him. Look at him. Look at his face. Look at his walk. It's identical.
He doesn't look very convincing to me. It's just like looking in a mirror, Mr. Randall.
You don't really think the police will believe Jeff Randall's a murderer, do you?
Why not? You did. And you were the one we were worried about.
Pretty drastic, isn't it, Laker? Even for the money you swindled out of the company.
Oh, no swindle. A little bending of the rules, but no swindle.
Then why the massacre?
Unfortunately, Mr. Tully discovered a certain pattern, and it was only a matter of time before he traced it to me.
And Holly and Heppel caught on.
Unfortunately for them, yes. So, for appearance's sake, I called you in. After I'd acquired the services of the versatile Mr. Hinch.
Not a very testing role, but better than a summer season at the end of the pier. Ducky. Untie my hands, I'll give you a round of applause. I'm afraid the play's a tragedy, Randall. The hero gets shot in the last act. And the villain?
Free of suspicion, and free to make the biggest killing the stock market has ever seen.
How can you? People will know, I'll know, Inspector Lodge will know.
Forget it, Jeannie.
How can I forget it when
Well, look at it this way, Mrs. Hopkirk. You are a victim of circumstances. An innocent bystander brutally shot down by the man attempting to murder me. I, of course, shall be suitably shocked, filled with remorse that I didn't kill Randall before he shot you. But we can't have everything, can we?
He's going to make it work, Jeff. It's the perfect frame-up.
Well, you'd better think of something quick.
There's nothing we can do.
Well, you never know who might come knocking at the front door.
All right, Jeff. All right. I'll try. But I'm running out of patience.
So am I.
Sir Oliver?
Yes?
Your evening appointment is here, sir.
I told you to cancel them all, Miss Klein.
The one we couldn't contact.
Yes, well, I'm not feeling very well. Send them all away. And I don't wish to be disturbed.
What did you do that for?
Now, just relax, old boy.
What?
Don't let this thing get you down. Now, Randall is a figment of your imagination. Yes, he doesn't really exist. You were the one who put his name into the minds of all those innocent patients. Now, cling on to that, Oliver. Sir Oliver. Randall is a figment of your imagination.
Never mind all that. I want another patient.
Now, just relax. Take a deep breath. Concentrate. Randall is a figment of your imagination. Randall is a figment of your imagination.
Randall is my friend.
Randall is my friend.
And I'm going to help him.
And I'm going to help him.
Well done, Sir Oliver. Now listen, you must do everything I say.
Well done, Sir Oliver. Now listen, you must do everything I say.
Right.
Right.
Time to do our little bit of public service.
Inspector Lodge?
James Laker here. I'm sorry to trouble you, but,
Well, I've just had a telephone call from Randall.
he seemed very interested in whether I was alone.
And are you?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
When are you expecting him?
Well, he did say he'd be here in about half an hour.
Look, Inspector, couldn't I just lock the door?
We'll be right over.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Terribly helpful. Said he'd be here in about 20 minutes.
Come on, Sir Oliver. Faster, faster. Keep your eyes on the road. Come on. You're a crack racing driver. That's it. Come on. You're in the Grand Prix. You've got 3 laps to go. There's 2 cars in your tail. Come on, you're the world's best. Faster, Sir Oliver, faster. Come on. Keep your eyes on the road.
It's no use, Jeff. They won't wait much longer.
I expected something to have happened by now. Can't understand what's keeping him.
Keeping who?
The one person who knows we're here.
Who's that?
Well, the way things are going, you'll be meeting him again pretty soon.
I shouldn't bother, old chap. There really isn't any point.
I'd better get rid of this lot, hadn't I?
Not yet. It might be useful in case we have some unexpected visitors.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I'll wait in the study.
Very well. Jarvis, untie him. All right. Now go out into the grounds and keep your eyes open for Large. I really wouldn't, Mr. Randall. You see, I live by an old maxim. If you want a job done properly, do it yourself.
Now, Sir Oliver, you've got to be very quiet, just like a panther. Mix with the shadows. Trust now, trust. Follow me, Sir Oliver.
All right, Randall, to the window, slowly. After all, we don't want to make it all messy, do we?
What if Inspector Lodge doesn't get here? Say his car breaks down, he has an accident or something.
Oh, why don't you leave those tiresome little details to me?
Stand up, Sir Oliver. You are now a secret agent. License to kill. I've never seen anything like it.
Neither has he.
What's wrong with him?
Well done, Sir Oliver. Come on, relax. You can wake up now. Randall is a figment.
What? Where? Who are you?
Randall.
Oh, no. No. Not Randall.
Don't move, anybody. This time, nothing will save you.
Quick, he's got a gun.
Oh, Randall is everywhere. I must see a psychiatrist.
I think you owe me some explanations, Randall.